I'm going to pop this up. Okay, and I muted everyone, so I don't think they can unmute themselves. All right, so we're just going to hop right into this. So if you want to just like tell us your story.
Yeah, so my name is Cortney Bohr, and okay, so it's been 4 years now since I started, which is crazy. When did you join?
I joined in May 2015, so 3 years.
Okay, it's so crazy. Yeah, so I joined in April of 2014. At the time, I was 19. I was living in my parents' basement. I was a full-time college student, and I was working 2 jobs. So I was basically just living your typical broke college student life, and really wanted to move out of my parents' basement. I just couldn't afford to. So I was going to school full-time, doing all that, and then this opportunity came up on Instagram for me, and I was watching Ashley Mirth for weeks. Like, I was so intrigued on her page daily, but I never was liking, never commenting any of her stuff. Like, I thought, you know, the odds were against me. So I was 19. My town is like 300 people. It's the smallest town ever. Never done anything like this. So basically all the excuses you hear people, you know, say is basically what I was telling myself. But I was also just like in a spot in my life where I was like, I can't really like go down from here. So why not, you know, just take the investment. You know, I'm going to get a box of wraps out of it. My mom was actually the one like who talked me into it. She's like, you're going to get some wraps out of it anyways. And I'm like, Mom, I'm pretty sure you just wanted those wraps, because as soon as I got in the mail, she's like trying to snag them from me. But so anyways, I jumped in. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I honestly had a really slow start because I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody I know about this because I was so scared and nervous. So I did everything basically how I tell my team not to do it, which is why I had a super slow start. So I was like started completely cold market, made a brand new Instagram account, which is why I had the slowest start ever. So my first month, I barely enrolled my 4 customers in my first 30 days, but I was also like had a really good mindset. So like I never knew where you could even take a business like this. So in my mind, like if I made $200 a month with this business, eventually that was like golden for me. Like, hey, I made it if I made $200. So my expectations weren't high whatsoever. And I just knew, like, you know, it's going to take some time. Like, I remember telling my friend about this, and he was like, well, if it doesn't work out after a couple weeks, you can just quit, can't you? And I was like, dude, that's not how it works. Like, you got to just stay with it, you know? Like, you can't just quit things. So going into the business, I had a pretty good mindset as far as, you know, making sure you stay consistent, all that stuff. So I worked every single day at this. You know, I was following new people. I was talking to so many people, but didn't start with my warm market. So I remember Ashley just constantly checking in on me because she saw me trying so hard, and she's like, hey girl, you know, how are things going? And I was like, honestly, I'm just waiting for this thing to take off for me. Then I had tried some of the products, and I was like, okay, why am I not telling everyone and their mother about these products, because they freaking rock. So once I really used the products, I was like, I kind of realized what I had my hands on, and so it made me want to go out and share the products with everybody. And then it's crazy how whenever you start with people, you know how things just kind of start coming together for you. So I started to do that, and then my second, third month, Instagram really started to take off for me. So I didn't use Facebook for a long time. Instagram still to this day is like my baby. I use Facebook some, but Instagram's just always worked so well for me. So, you know, I stick with it because it's what's working. So after, let's see, 3 or 4 months in the business, I was a Ruby, and I applied to Mizzou, which is in Columbia, Missouri, which is about an hour away from where my parents live, and I signed a lease there. And so I still wasn't making a lot of money to be able to like not work, you know, and to support me full time, but I was making enough money to like hopefully move out and, you know, get a job. So I got a job at Applebee's for literally 2 days, hated it so much, and I was like, I'm quitting this job and I'm about to like do this full time. So that month I was actually going Emerald, so that I quit this job. So moved out of my parents' house, had to support myself full time, quit this job. So I was like, well shoot, like I kind of have to make this thing work now, which I was loving it anyway. So I was just like really focused and determined. So honestly, that just kind of lit a fire inside me. Like it wasn't really an option of just like wondering, like it was like, okay, well, this has to work at this point. So I just started busting my butt, and honestly, I was like addicted to the business. Like I was so addicted to enrolling customers. Like I got the $600 car bonus because I was just obsessed. Like all I wanted to do was work this business. It wasn't a matter of like, how am I going to fit this business into school? It was like, how is school going to fit into this business? Because I love this. So anyways, within, it took me 9 months and I went diamond, and it was crazy. Like once I went diamond, things just blew up. Like it's like all the consistency of all of those months just took off like crazy. And the next following months, so it was diamond, and then literally the next month I went double, triple press. So in 1 year I hit presidential, and it was just crazy. Like went from just, you know, kind of just going along, and then it just like blew up. So that was year one. And then at my my 2 year mark, I went ambassador. So that was just so insane. And honestly, like all that just flew by, like time, I don't even know where time went. But yeah, so anyways, I still went through school, and I haven't ever graduated yet. To myself, at some point I'll do that. But I knew this business was always going to be something, you know, I wanted to do full time once I realized how much I enjoyed it and loved it. So, 4 years later, here we are. It's so crazy. I still love this business so much. It's blessed my life in so many ways and so many others. And yeah, it's just crazy. Like I don't know where time went, and just blown by. But yes, definitely one of the biggest blessings ever.
I love that. So you mentioned that you started a brand new Instagram.
Yeah, and I tell my team, do not do that.
Can you explain, because like I'm going to share this with my newbies after, well, like everybody after anyways. Can you explain like why we don't want to make a new Instagram?
This is why I had the slowest start ever. So when my business started to really take off is when I was actually doing what my enroller was telling me to do, you know, like start with the people you know. That's a really good idea. That's when things took off for me. So because thankfully I had a good mindset to allow me to keep going. But if I didn't, I would have quit so fast, because literally nothing was happening. It was going so slow. Like when people tell me that, I'm literally like, do not do it. Like you want to start with people you know, start with that market. Basically, you're telling these people that they're not interested in what you have automatically. How is that fair to them? You don't know who could be interested in these products or in the business. So yeah, definitely don't do that. It just takes so much time. And a lot of people don't have the patience. You know, you want to get a quick start to your business. You want to start, you know, going quickly. And that's not going to happen if you just start brand new. So don't do it. Please learn from my mistakes. Thankfully, like I said, my mindset allowed it to happen. But really when things started to take off was definitely whenever I realized that. And that's when I was like, hey, you know, I started telling the people I knew about it instead of trying to hide it from the world. So
okay, great. Yeah. I like literally advise everyone, like, don't do it, especially now, because just like the whole algorithms of Instagram are so different now. And trying like the way that you can follow and stuff, everything's just so different. Like I remember when I first started, you could go follow 500 people at a time and it didn't matter. And now it's like you follow 19 people and that's it. Like,
I was so nervous. One of the reasons I did that was because I was so nervous about like posting stuff like that. But honestly, we all just try to stay so personal on our Instagrams now anyways. Like you're not having to fill it up 10 times a day like I did back in the day with before and after pictures. You know, we're more personal. And like I have so many people that aren't even interested in the business or the products that still come to me all the time, and they're like, we love looking at your page, you know, we love seeing, you know, they're just like inspired. And I think, you know, seeing more people like that, you know, like us, and we're being more, I guess you could say, like just showing them we're real people on Instagram versus just filling our pages with before and afters. It really shows people that they can do this too, and that we are just real people, that we can incorporate this business into our lives. So
yeah, definitely. Keeping it personal is like, I just utilize my stories for like before and afters now. Like Instagram stories has been great, but I try to like not really post a lot of product posts on my regular profile. It's mostly just like the kids and me and Jay and whatever.
story of like,
yeah,
annoying on story, but you can just pass it if you don't want to watch it. So
exactly. So what are your favorite ways to get new distributors started?
Yeah, so I knew like whenever I started, like the most important thing for me was just like being like there to have somebody ask questions. So, you know, I just tell my new distributors right off the bat, blow up my phone with questions. If you're not blowing up my phone with questions, then something's not right. Like you don't know what you're doing. Like I'm here to help you. This is what I'm here for. So you need to blow my phone up with questions. So basically like the thing that I do is like, it's kind of like, it's a lot, but I walk my distributors through every process. So as far as we start with their 4 loyal customers, that's the first thing we do. I go over the customer program, kind of just tell them what it is, like a little just message saying it. And then I'm like, we're going to go get your 4 customers. I'm going to walk you through on how to do this. I send them the message, or I have them make a list, their dirt, or we call it a dirt list. So if you were to go and you were selling dirt, who are like the people that would buy it from you just because you're you. And so we make our dirt list. And then once they have that list made, I say, okay, send this to every single person. So I have them send the same message. When they get a response, they screenshot it to me. I send them the next message. So literally I just walk them through their first 4 customers, because once they get their 4th customer, they realize I have the same exact conversation with every single person, which makes it easier for them. And they realize that like the wording and stuff to seal the deal. So I walk them through for those first 4 customers. We try to get those ASAP. Once we get our first 4 customers, we go and I put a Ruby chart in front of them, and I just send them a video. I fill out the Ruby chart just like with examples, and I send them a video just explaining. I say, okay, this is what we're working towards. This is how Ruby works. Does it make sense? They say yes. So then what I do is I just go over live posts and how important it is to make sure that you're posting daily. The importance of live posts and how you're going to build your team as distributors, and just saying, how simple this business is. We literally do 2 things. We enroll customers, we enroll distributors, and, just really getting them on the routine of that. But then I just work and stay super close in contact with my new distributors. And, if they're not, messaging me, I'm definitely keeping up with them and messaging them and making sure that they're doing the things, and, having them send me those screenshots until I get comfortable with it. So it's kind of a lot of work. Like some people are like, wait, you literally just have them send you every conversation. I'm like, for those first 4 customers, I do, because I feel like that's so important, because wording is everything. And if they can just get that wording down, it's crazy how much like they realize, oh, wow, this is actually really simple. So just walking them through it really, and being there, asking questions. When I have them set up their first post, I send them kind of like an example of like what to add into it, but then I have them do it, send it over to me, and then, just say, okay, do that every time. And just talk about like live posts and stuff like that. So really just keeping it super simple and just walking them through the process.
Okay. So I know like, obviously when you get to a point in your business like where we are, we're not keeping all of our distributors in our top line. We're like helping people build charts pretty much. So when do you like implement them? Like when do you introduce them to the leader that you're putting them under? Like if you're placing them on someone's chart, do they get involved with the training process, or is it just you and that new person one-on-one?
Yeah, I personally train. If they join me, I personally train them. I feel like that's kind of like my job. They join my team for a reason. So I personally do train them for their first few days, just getting them those first 4 customers, those basics that I just went over. But after that, depending on the leader, if I have a leader that I'm building, they're kind of in it, they're kind of not, they don't really know what they're doing themselves. But I, for some reason, feel like I need to, like I'm working with them, I'm building them. If I don't feel like they're ready to lead somebody, I don't throw them into it, because I don't want to introduce that new team member to this person who doesn't really know what they're doing. So it really just kind of depends. I have those leaders that just get it right off the bat. They're just leaders. Like, jump into this. They're amazing. Those are great. Like, I love, placing people under them. But until they're kind of like ready with that, then I kind of work with them myself. But we do have layered leadership. So if I have somebody above that person that is a good leader, that does know how to answer questions and all that good stuff, I'll have them reach out to that person instead. So after a few days, if I feel like it's good timing for that leader, I'll tell them to say, hey, I want you to reach out to them and introduce them. It kind of makes it less awkward than just putting them like in a group conversation. Be like, hey, this is also, whatever. I just have them reach out to them and introduce them themselves so that they can get to know each other from there. Kind of, I don't know, that just works better for me. So.
Okay. And how do you, I don't know how to word this. So like with the layered leadership, like how do you start training your up and coming leaders to lead?
Yeah. So I think honestly, what I do, okay, so this is actually something I've been doing lately, and it like helps. So whenever I have somebody and I'm like, okay, I need to build a new leg, I straight up tell this person, I say, look, I have the option to place you in an area of my chart that I'm really focused on right now. I was like, but I need it to be somebody that's ready to lead and really work with me and do what I do, and to lead from the front. And sometimes just telling people that kind of gives them like that confidence almost of like, wow, she like, you know, she trusted me and believes in me that I can do this. So that's worked out really well for me, especially for like my 2.0. Like my 2.0 at this point might be stronger than my 1.0 because I have so many incredible leaders, and I've been doing that, just straight up telling them and asking them before I place in that area. I'm like, look, you know, I can put you in this position. Are you ready for that? And then I do that first. But as far as like, honestly, I feel like it's just getting them, like once they start, there's just like those people who just kind of like get it and just like take off with it. Like, I don't know, they're just like leaders, you know? And, but I think they honestly just get it from like getting on Zooms and stuff, like our weekly Zooms and talking to them and stuff like that. And just like staying updated with them. They kind of just do exactly what I do eventually. So like whenever I enroll a distributor, you know, I'm constantly cheering them on. And like, so when they enroll a distributor, they're doing the same thing. So it's really me just leading from the front. And I think they're just taking that from me and just like, you know, doing it on their own. So getting on Zooms and stuff, I think is so huge because they really do, you know, they take that from you and they do it with their own teams. So that, and then like introducing them, like once I do feel like they're in a pretty good spot, I, you know, definitely introduce them to them so they can start working with those people too. Cause I do feel like that kind of, you know, also gives them like that boost of confidence. Like, you know, I have to step up because somebody is watching me and, you know, I am their leader. So I need to be showing up and making sure you're, you know, making sure you're doing what you're telling your team to do. So yeah, that's
like super duplicatable with it.
For me, I think it's just always been leading from the front, you know, and just like being so like asking them, like I said, if you just ask, are you ready? Like, are you ready to be in that position? They might not actually feel ready, but a lot of them are like, you know, if they want this business to work for them, they're going to be like, okay, yes, like I'm ready to run, you know?
Yeah. Have you ever had anyone tell you like, no, I don't really want you to place under me?
No.
That actually happened to one of my girls today. That's why I'm asking. She was kind of like, no, like, I don't really want you to put anyone under me. Like, I'm not there right now. Like, what do you say to that? Like, I don't know. Okay. So what are your...
Before I forget this.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry. I have to share this. This is crazy. So it's about leadership again. So I just want to throw it out before I forgot about it. So for an entire year, I've been working on my 2.0 to go triple, and I needed one leg to go diamond. So I've been building this girl for over a year to diamond, you guys, and I have probably built her 100 times, not even kidding you. Like, so many people are under this one girl. I, for some reason, in my mind, was so focused on this one girl being this dang diamond the entire time. Like, I was like, she's going to be the diamond. She's going to be the diamond. Well, 3 months ago, I enrolled this girl who just, like, got it. She, like, led from the front. She was excited. She was ready to go. She's like, I'm getting this bonus. She went diamond in 90 days. So it's just so crazy how, like, sometimes we get wrapped up in that one person that we're not, like, really paying attention. So honestly, I think so much of it is finding that one person that you are just like, I can do this with you, that are ready to show up. So sorry, I just had to throw that out real quick because it's crazy how we do sometimes just focus so much on that one leg that we so badly just expect to, you know, really show up and, you know, run, but they don't. And then so it's all about finding that one person that is ready to go do that.
That's so good. Yeah. I think like, I totally agree with that. Like you have that top line box that you're just trying to build over and over, and you're like building this chart 17 different ways and it just keeps falling apart and you're like, what the F is going on? And then
no matter how bad you want them to be that person too, because
I know
you get your mind so focused on it, you just know it's going to come together at some point. But honestly, it's going to just take that one person that can pull it together in 90 days, you know, or even a shorter amount of time. It's about finding that person that's just as excited about it as you are. And when
it's so funny. Like I was trying to build Jay as my diamond for double because he was my emerald for diamond. So I'm like, of course he's going to be my diamond for double. And I built his chart so many times. And the girl that wound up being my diamond was like a 400 box under an executive, like under a ruby, under an emerald, like way down on my chart. And she just enrolled and she just took off. It was just like insane. And then she just went diamond. Now she's like going double and triple back to back. And I'm like, yep, she was a 400 box on my chart. And then like, here she is over here. And now I like, don't even look at Jamie's chart anymore. I'm like, yeah, we're just not going to build that anymore at all. So it's crazy. Just like how one person can completely just change your whole business. So what are your best tips for filling volume? You know, like a lot of New people are coming to the business right now. People are charting for promotions like crazy, especially with this $20 promotion. So like, I know like I learned a lot from the $10 deal last year, like what not to do, like going into this, and just like having better expectations for like myself and like what I'm capable of doing as far as training new people, like not trying to enroll 50 people and try to train them all, because that's crazy. And like it's you can't physically, I can't do it with a newborn. Like I can't, I know that I can. So like I'm not setting these crazy goals, but sorry, I just got like so sidetracked by something.
So filling volume for
filling volume.
So basically what I do is like, I think it's just so important. For one, you can't just, I always say, you know, promotions don't ever just come together. They don't just magically happen ever. Like you have to know exactly what you need. So if I decide that I'm promoting, so for example, when I went triple last month on my 2.0, I was so far away from volume. I had 1 week left to go and I had over 5,000 in volume to fill. And I was like telling myself, I was like, I'm doing it. Like from the first day of that month, I told myself I'm going to do it. So from the first day of the month, I had every single volume written out that I needed. So I knew what I was working with. So it was a lot. But for one, it's deciding. You have to decide that a promotion is just going to happen. Sometimes you have no idea how the hell you're going to pull it together. But deciding is always number one. So I decided, and when I like decide on something, I get so, it's like you just getting that like promotion going, like momentum. It's like, I'm a crazy person right now. Like I have no idea how this is going to happen, but it's going to come together because I decided that it's going to happen. So basically deciding is number one, I think, for, you know, always. But number two is knowing what you need, because you can't just, you know, randomly check it on the 25th and then realize you're 13,000 away and expect it to come together. You got to know from the get-go. So that way you know what you're working with, so you get closer and closer each month as time goes on. So knowing what you need is so important. So having your chart out in front of you, like I have never, there's been months, I'm going to be honest, there's been months where I'm like, I don't have a chart even out in front of me. I'm just kind of like working, but I'm getting nowhere because I don't have a goal that I'm working towards. I don't know what I'm working with. So if you don't have that chart in front of you and know exactly what you need, you're not going to get anywhere. So you need to make sure that you know exactly what you need, how many boxes you have to fill, and what volume you're working with. So I think those are the most important things. But then getting everyone who is working with you to make this promotion happen, make sure they're on the same page so that you guys are staying so close in contact. I talk to my team a lot and my leaders a lot, but on promotion months, I'm literally, we're talking every day. We're keeping each other updated on any orders that we're pulling in so that we can all be updating this volume together. So anybody who's working with you, make sure they're on the same page and you guys are like, keeping up with each other, because your momentum just bounces off one another. It's just like, I got a customer, and you're like, I got a customer. And it's just so insane how it comes together. So, making sure that they're on the same page for sure. Whenever I did it last month, so it was host to post for sure. That helped bring in a lot of volume, and then messaging and just posting a lot. Like I blew up my stories last month. Like it was insane. I blew them up every day anyways, but like extra blowing up last month. Like, so really putting it out there. I might annoy some people, but I don't care because it works. So, but I think at the end of the day, it's honestly just really you getting that mindset. Like I'm doing this and deciding, because like I said, that 5,000 in volume the last week, I was like, staying out till 3 or 4 in the morning just because I was like, I'm making it happen. So
that's a lot of volume in a diamond leg to me in the last week. That's
this is the girl that went diamond in 90 days. So it was so much. But honestly,
didn't she just chart for double?
Yeah. She's like, I'm working on my triple now. I'm like, you guys, she is the person I've been praying for over a year. Like, it's so insane how they just come into your life. And when you find that one person, it just like gets so exciting. Like, that momentum you get when you promote and you're just like, I want to keep going. Like, she's really brought that back. And I think that's so important for us to just keep on doing. And, making sure like if you feel like you're in a rut, really make sure you do have that goal in front of you, that chart in front of you, and know that volume you need. Because as soon as you get back in that momentum, it's just crazy how, from last month's work, I've been enrolling customers like crazy this month from that still, just because that momentum is just carrying over.
For sure. We didn't talk about this, but I just kind of want to ask, like, while we're talking about, like, how you were building your 2.0 chart, trying to get it to triple for a year. Like, how did you how do you not get complacent in your business? Because I know, like, I feel like, you know, if I was like, I think about it like, dude, if I was like a triple diamond, like, I think I would just be good with that. Like making $10,000 a month, like, that's great. Like, you know, like I'd be good with that. I could just like hang there, you know? And I know like when I went diamond, I got complacent with it. And I think that's why it took me so long. Like it took me 2 years to go double after that. Like, how do you like stay motivated to not get comfortable with where you are?
Yeah. So honestly, I feel like it's hard not to, you know, eventually, because you have that, you get to a point where you just get comfortable. It's easy to do, but honestly, what it was for me last month, I'm not even kidding. Like, this is me and Brandon were like sitting at Texas Roadhouse eating, and we were like, like adding up just stuff for our wedding. Like, this is, you know, like we're gonna be able to pay for our wedding for cash because of this business, and that's fine. But like getting all these numbers and like realizing in 30 days the amount of money you pay before you get married motivated the crap out of me. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like insane. So honestly, it's just finding that thing that's going to push you again, because if you don't have something that's pushing you, you do get comfortable. I had been comfortable, you know, and that's kind of was my issue. Like, it was like I needed to find that one thing. And like, you guys, I try constantly. Like, I'm telling you, I'm on like on every night, like looking at houses, like, cause that stuff kind of motivates me too. Cause like just looking at like, you know, trying to like dream bigger, I guess. So I'm constantly looking at new houses and like just trying to like imagine myself in that house and stuff like that. But honestly, it's kind of like, that hasn't been motivating me a whole lot. So just because I know it's going to be a couple years before we do that, just because I've just bought this house. But so like the wedding stuff, I don't know. It was just motivated the crap out of me. And that's kind of like what made me do it. So it's finding that thing again, you know, and it is easy to get comfortable. So I think the awesome thing about this business is they don't ever tell you to like slow down in your dreaming process. They say, you know, the doors are open. What do you want from this business? And the fact that we have that opportunity is just freaking amazing. So really figuring out that trigger, you know, what's going to trigger you to like really just push for it and just go.
Yeah, I think like for sure, like having Nash was definitely like, okay, like it like fueled my fire again. Like it gave me a different why. Because I think like I lost that I think once you're in the business for a little while and you do promote and you're like seeing these big checks and you're like, you kind of like forget like, okay, like, cause why I started was for a car payment. And now it's like, I don't need that. So like, what am I working for now? And now it's like, now I'm just like, okay, like I just want to do so much with our kids that like I need to just start making a shit ton of money so that I can. Pretty much is what it comes down to. Like I want to take them to Disney and like we just bought a pool and just like different, you know, I just like want to just keep going.
Yes, that's awesome.
What are some things that you know now that you wish that you had known when you started?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this and I was like, what's that like one thing? And for me, I think it was like the biggest thing is when I first started the business, like I spent so much time focused on people that just weren't doing anything. Like people would tell me this happens to everyone, you know, how bad they need this business in their life, what they're going through. And sometimes you feel their connection on their level, you almost feel like, because you're like, I want this for you so bad, because they're sitting there just pouring their hearts out to you. Yet they do nothing sometimes. They join and they're like, okay, you know, I want all these things, but I'm not willing to do anything. So I, at the beginning of my business, dragged so many people along to the top, some people to the top. And, you know, it was literally just exhausting because they weren't doing anything. And I was just, you know, carrying them along. So I think the one thing that if I could go back, it would be that go find that one person that actually is willing to put in that work just like you. Go find that person that's just as excited to work this business as you, because you can't drag people along who just aren't in it for the right reasons or who aren't truly putting in the work. So I remember, especially when I first started, like I would just like, you know, just keep on these people for months about, you know, they wouldn't do anything and they just be like, you know, I might. And I'd be like, come on, like, you know, just try to constantly be bringing them on, which, you know, sometimes that works and it gets them excited. But I'm not saying, you know, don't just like spend time with your leaders or anything, but don't get discouraged by these people who aren't doing anything for you to not reach your goals because of them. Go out and find those new people that are just as excited. And I think that is just when I realized that, and I realized that so many people were holding me back, it was just crazy how things started to really take off, because I wasn't focused on what wasn't happening in my business anymore, but I was focused on going to find out those new people so I could figure out what was going to happen.
That's really good. Really, really good. What do I have here? What was that? Sorry, I feel like I sent you a question like after that, like I would rather you answer before I go into these other questions. Not that one. What in the heck? I lost the question that I sent you. Hold on, now I gotta go into my Instagram. Sorry, guys. And of course, my Wi-Fi is being not good. What are your best tips for sealing the deal with a potential distributor, especially if they say that they're too busy or too broke?
So I just always like relate with them, because I feel like we could all use that excuse. It's not like any of us were probably just sitting on our couches all day long doing nothing, like before we started this business. So I feel like everybody can like bring that up. So what I just say is, I totally understand. I always just, agree with them. I say, I totally understand that. Whenever I started this business, I was actually so broke, like did not have the $99, I had to charge it to a credit card. I also was working 2 jobs and going to school full time, but I also wanted more time, and for me, taking that leap was worth it. And honestly, I always think the people that are best at this business are actually the really busy people, because you're already used to having to fit all kinds of like crazy things into your life anyway. So what's another business,
Yeah. Like either you're going to like do something to make a change or you're not. Like there's people that I've been talking to forever that are like, oh, I don't have $99. I don't have $99. And I'm like, dude, it's $20 to sign up. And they're like, yeah, I can't. I'm like, dude, it's $20. Like if you can't find a way to get $20, then you don't want to change your situation, because it's $20. Like,
some girl yesterday said, so is it $20 plus shipping? Like the shipping was, the shipping was going to like keep her from joining. And I was like, just don't join. Don't join then if that's going to keep you, because if you can't, I don't know. That just blows my mind, because you literally just have your hands, which I know they realize they don't have their hands on something incredible, but it's like, you literally just start your own business for $20.
Like it's $20.
Like, come on. $20 are crap.
Like tax and shipping, 30 tops. Tops. I can't. Okay. All right. So best advice for a newbie.
Right. And let's see. Start with people you know, for sure. Don't create a new Instagram or a new Facebook account, because you're gonna regret it. Do not do that. I think honestly, just realizing what you have your hands on is hard when you first start. You don't really know. But I think honestly, like me, it was so exciting when I didn't. Don't try to figure everything out when you start. Don't try to think that you have to know everything, or you have to, just start. That sounds kind of silly, but like literally just start, because ignorance on fire, that's how I was when I first started. I was ignorance on fire. I had no idea what I was doing, but the one thing I did have is I was excited. I was so excited, and that got me so far. So be excited. Don't feel like you have to know everything, and just start doing it, because honestly, that is the only way you're going to learn. You're not going to learn by, you can ask a million questions, but don't waste time, just jump into it and just start. I did ask a lot of questions when I started, but I also wasn't just like asking silly questions. Like I was doing what I saw Ashley doing for weeks. So if you've been watching your enroller, go to their page and get inspiration from them, and just get an idea, of what they're doing. They obviously work for you to join them. So, just follow the right cat, copy the right cat.
Yeah. And then what is your best advice for veterans?
So I would say to find that one thing again that just gets you excited, that's going to fire you up. Like, for me, it was talking about the wedding and all the expenses that we had. I do not like that stuff, just when I've really talked about, like, I don't know. That's just something that fires me up, is guess what I'm trying to say. So find that thing again that really fires you up. Make sure you get that chart in front of you. But I think it's so easy for us to just, like, you know, enroll here and there, but not actually have a goal for ourselves anymore. And when we don't do that, we literally get nowhere. So making sure you have your chart, making sure that you set your goals every single month, and you know, shoot for that promotion again, because you can do it. Don't get comfortable. And when you do start promoting again, like, that fire inside you is just like no other. Like, you almost get like a giddy, girly feeling, because it's like so exciting, and that feeling to have back is so, it's just incredible. So, you know, find that one thing again that's just gonna push you, and know that you can dream, you guys. It's so awesome that this business allows us to do that, and that they are constantly pouring into us that we can do that. Like, that alone is just so huge. So, you know, don't settle, and just really just shoot for it.
So true. I need to make a new dream board. I like moved my office into my room, and I didn't bring it in here with me. And now I need to like make a new one, because things are so different now that the baby's here. It's crazy.
I can just only imagine. Like, I feel like that would be such a huge motivator. Like, I can't imagine.
It really is. It's like, okay, like, this baby is going to grow up much different than like how I did.
Yeah.
Like, I just know that. So I'll do whatever to make that happen. That's like how I'm feeling right now. Yes, dream board Zoom. I was actually thinking about having like a work Monday at our house and doing dream boards like we did last year. But anyways, thank you so much for getting on and doing this with us. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me. We'll have to get you, I need to get you on one of these times with us.
Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations on your promotion again. I'm excited for
Thank you. You too. Triple 2.0. Who does that?
Still can't believe that happened. But no,
literally, I'm like, when I saw it announced, when I saw the promotion announced and stop recording, I was like,